Welcome to Capitol Preview, a weekly bipartisan discussion with Iowa legislators about the key issues facing our state. Brought to you by Mediacom.
Welcome to Capitol Preview, a public information show that hosts our state representatives and senators on issues important to our state. Our guest this morning is Senator Chaz Allen, Democrat from Newton, District 15. Chaz, good to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me here. It doesn't seem like a legislative session until I've done one of these shows with you.
Exactly. Yep. And you always do a great job. And so we're glad to have you here this morning. So I'm just going to launch in on a bunch of issues that I know you have been working on, and we'll just kind of start the conversation with that. So Medicare privatization has been a big issue on this legislature for the last 2 or 3 years. So can you kind of bring us up to speed a little bit?
I tell everybody that's the one issue that I get the most phone calls on. If you had an issue that affected your constituents the most, it would be that issue, I believe, because I get phone calls every day, emails, things like that. I spoke on the Senate floor about it. We've got to find a way to make sure we're getting the services to those people that need them. I think also some of the providers out there aren't getting paid in time. And there's a real issue. I know one of our providers in Newton, Progress Industries, has come to the county for a stipend, to keep its doors open. That hasn't happened in 40 years. So that tells me there's a problem with the way we're doing it right now. Slow paying to the providers and people not getting services. It's not acceptable. I think we need to do a better job of that.
Well, let's just go back to that. So the Medicare privatization. I mean, what's the future? What do you think is going to happen with it? I mean, are they going to go back to state?
I don't think there'll be a way to go back. I think they may take a subset of a population that's using this and put them back. Because some people are, they're not going to get better. They're the way they were when they were born, and you can't update it every month.
Right.
And we need to provide those people assistance and allow them to flourish in the places that they're at, and not take them out of their homes and things like that. So no, I don't see us going back to a state-run system. I think the system of having audits up front is a good system, but I think the state didn't do it appropriately and give it enough time to happen appropriately.
Next issue that, and this one's more of a positive one. I know Rob Denson has helped you, assisted you, or been a partner with you on community college funding. I will tell you personally, my son did that 2+2 program, the 2 years of community college and 2 years of his to get his bachelor's degree at University of Northern Iowa, and it's been a phenomenal system. And I know Rob has been very much a part of that.
And my daughter's at DMAC right now in Ankeny,
Yeah.
so we see that. But I think the one thing about the community college system is that's the system where we train our workforce. And I think when we underfund that, we not only hurt those students, but we hurt the businesses we're trying to provide skilled workforce to. I think if you look at Newton and how we came back after Maytag, a lot of that had to do with our community college system. When you build a wind blade, it's not assembling a washer and dryer. It's more of an art of fiberglass. It's more of boat building, if you will. So, the community college stepped up to help people learn how to do fiberglass. The wind tower industry is welding, steel welding. So the community college system set up a welding program so people could be trained at DMAC and then go work at Trinity and get, sustaining jobs to support their families after Maytag left. I think there's court reporting, there is, nursing, things like that are important to get those people, whether traditional students or non-traditional students, changing their jobs into the workforce and keep building a better workforce. I always joke that when I give a speech to kids and stuff like that at high schools, I've been the mayor of a community, I've been a senator, I worked in telecom like you, and I ask them, what's the most important document I have on me right now? And they all say, well, it's your college degree or whatever. And I keep telling them, no, it's my commercial driver's license. I could walk out of here within 15 minutes and have a job driving a truck anywhere across the country and make a living doing it. Those are the type of jobs we need to get kids ready for, and then as they continue their education with a job.
I agree. And that's kind of why I shared that with my son, because I think people's vision of community college is some antiquated. It's how community college used to work, but they are so much different now, and they're such a great education tool. So.
Well, it's a stepping stone, because you can always. I think my daughter told me a story of she takes a printing class to get her 2-year degree. One printing class, it trained her so that she could go get a job for $20 an hour and still go to college. I mean, she makes, working at Hy-Vee minimum wage or whatever, but she takes this printing class, she goes work for somebody else, can take that, can do that job for $20 an hour and go to school. And I'm really hoping she does that because she needs that money.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, well, thank you for that, because I think it's a great program, and the state does need to support it. The ICN, possible ICN up for sale again, potentially up for sale again. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, as former Iowa Telecom employee, former working for Iowa Telecom and coming to the Capitol to fight against the ICN expansion into the private networks, I don't know. With the stuff that's happened, I think this will be the time that a lot of people will want to see the ICN sold. But there's so many things you have to unwind from it, like the National Guard and things like that. But I think the private side, if they could get a piece of that network, I don't think the network's as robust as it once was, and probably needs a lot of work. So it's almost like, in my mind, I don't know if you could sell it or have to donate it, with the type of technology you still got. But I think it's a good system. We'll wait and see what the committees come up with. I know Oversight's looking at the misappropriation of funds there, and then we'll find out. But it's been a topic for the past, 15 years that I've been around.
So who do you think who will take it up? I know the Oversight is looking to see what the process was and how that ended up. Who's going to end up on how do you think they're going to potentially have the hearings to sell that? Or if they do sell it?
It's obviously going to have to come from both the House and the Senate, and then put out an RFP or something to see who wants to buy. Because we've done that before.
Yep.
I think MediaCom's been involved. I know Iowa Telecom's been involved. I know CenturyLink now or it was Quest at the time, has been involved. Right. So we've all had a piece of this against each other, trying to do, make something happen. Yeah. So the honest answer is I don't know, but I think it's going to have to be an RFP put out or something if they decide to do that. Whether they do or not, I don't know.
Exactly. Yep.
So.
Okay. The budget. What's going on with the budget currently? I know the budget has been a big concern to a lot of people, and I know has brought a lot of angst to a lot of people. So can you kind of give us a little? We
just did the de-appropriation bill, which is about $32 million. We de-appropriated for this year's budget. So they've cut that money out of their budget have to cut their money out of that budget by July. So that's been done. I think that's been sent to the governor. No, I believe that's going to the House next to be voted on, and then it'll be sent to the governor. I imagine we'll see that again. But as we go into this next year, we did set the school funding at 1%. So we'll see what the majority brings to us for a budget for the ongoing year. There's a lot of talk of tax reform, and you don't know what that means until you see it in paper. So is it less revenue neutral? So until those things kind of come together and we see them, we're not going to know.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned that you have finished up last week the school funding bill, and you gave them a 1% increase in funding. Is that enough?
It's not, but I don't know where you get the rest of that money. If you're given with the budget shortfall we did the 1%, but I also think we need to rethink how we're doing it, because I'm seeing schools cutting their industrial arts programs. The jobs that we need, the skilled trades that we need, we're not teaching them in high school now, because a lot of those classes have been cut back. So no, it's really not enough. We need to find a better way to either do the education or fund it, because cutting those things back when we're cutting orchestra, when we're cutting those type of things. There are students out there that, you can get a college degree by playing football. What about the student that plays in orchestra and things like that, when they don't have that same opportunity as the athlete does? And I think that's a disappointment, that we really need those people to have the same opportunities, and we cut those programs, it hurts our students and hurts their progress forward.
Yeah. No, I think that's very well said. And these schools are offering more and more of the arts type programs, and so as they expand, less money to go around, right? So it's tough. I know that you are very involved in the Iowa Speedway, and you have some news to share with Iowans.
Jimmy Smalls is going to move on to do the current president of the Iowa Speedway. He's going to go on to do greater and bigger things for NASCAR in Los Angeles on an international scale. And we're getting David Hyatt, a 30-year NASCAR person, that's come to take the Iowa Speedway to bring new life and new blood to the Iowa Speedway and see what NASCAR can do in the coming years. It's fun because what I was told is a lot of things that NASCAR will try in the future are going to start at the Iowa Speedway.
Right.
So a lot of the kids you see, the future stars, things like that, you'll see them at the Iowa Speedway. And of course, I'm partial to it, obviously, having been the mayor.
Why don't you tell our viewers a little bit, because they might not, you're a state senator now, but you had a past of being a mayor in Newton.
Yeah, mayor of Newton from 2004 to 2012, served with you as mayor of Waukee, and then went through the Maytag process in 2005 to 2007. And then at one point we had the Iowa Speedway in 2005, and then the wind energy boom that we had there for a while with TPI that makes the blades and Trinity that makes the towers. And a lot of people don't know about Newton is we had the we're making cereal boxes almost, where you get your granola bars, the boxes. We have a company called Walter G. Anderson that came in, and they make the boxes for that. Then we also have a company that puts the tires on the wheels for Freightliner, Peterbilt, and Kenworth, and then ship those out to the manufacturers. So we went from a kind of a one-horse town to having a lot of diversity in our employment. And one of the fun things, Underwriters Laboratories purchased one of our other research facilities, so we have big names like Underwriters Laboratories in our community as well. So it's been a transition, and I think we've been somewhat successful, but you got to say you're never done. You're always working forward to make sure everybody.
So Newton's thriving again. Do you think you're at the point where you were when Maytag was there? And
we have more people commuting into Newton than we did when Maytag was there. So that's a positive sign. We know we still have about 400,000 square feet of headquarters space that we're looking to fill. So if anybody out there wants to rent 500,000 square feet, it's rentable or for sale.
Well, you definitely have done a great job, both as a senator and mayor, because I know Newton's pretty important to you, and you have a lot of pride being a resident of that town and representing that town, both as mayor and as a senator, state senator. So kudos to you.
And red pride. You have to also be careful because now as a senator I represent Southeast Polk, so Newton and Southeast Polk play once in a while.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have my wife sew up a half shirt that says Southeast Polk and Newton on one side so I can go to those games and feel bipartisan, if you will.
Well, Senator, I do have one other quick question. So what do you think is going to go on with the gubernatorial race, or are you going to venture to even speculate on that?
It's hard to speculate. I know Nate Bolton sits in front of me. He's doing a great job campaigning.
Absolutely.
John Norris, I've known him for quite a while as working for Vilsack. Fred Hubble, another great candidate. So we've got a great pool of candidates, and so I think who comes out of that, we're going to have a great candidate to choose on the Democrat
It's nice
side.
to have a choice.
Yeah, a good choice. Great choice of candidates.
Well, Senator, I appreciate you coming here. Senator Chaz Allen, Democrat from Newton, District 15. Appreciate you spending your time with us this morning, and we'll have you back.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, and you've seen another episode of Capitol Preview.